Well, hello everyone. Welcome into Flying with Mike. We're sitting here in Jacksonville, Florida. Although not Jacksonville International. Hang on a second. Allergies are on overload today. But anyway, no, we're sitting at the Naval Air Station, Jacksonville, getting ready to fly a Civil Reserve Air Fleet flight over to Scott Air Force Base, Illinois. We'll probably park on the MidAmerica side, but we'll see when we get there. But anyway, just welcome back. Had a great flight yesterday from Manchester, England, over to Germany. And we're hoping for the same thing. So why don't you all come in and let's get flying with Mike. We are in the Flight Factor 767. One big thing to say right at the outset, when you fire this up, if you're up to date with your sim, up to date with your aircraft, you're going to get a message saying this aircraft is not, is it compatible, the word it says, or not up to this version of your sim. Folks, that's perfectly fine. It will fly. Because guess what? It did it to me, and we're going to MidAmerica. So come along. Let's get up in the cockpit and do a little flying today, shall we? All right, as you can see, 767 cockpit here. We are pretty well into our checks so that we can try for a bottom of the hour, I'd say pushback, but we're going to actually just go forward. Welcome to flying in the military. They don't have those things called pushbacks. Matter of fact, funny story. At MidAmerica, we had a Navy, oddly enough, DC-9 come in, and we parked them at the passenger terminal at one of the jetways when we didn't have any airlines at that time. As he walked up the jetway, he looked at me and goes, now, how am I going to get out of this thing? We said, we're going to push you back. Yeah, the Navy. There is another way with DC-9s and 727s, and that is to power back. But I don't think they teach that much anymore to those pilots. But yeah, they used to do that big time back when I was in the military in the 80s. So, and not just the military, but also the civilian world. You could watch it at St. Louis all the time. So, but anyway, kind of funny. They really don't know that they could hook a tug up and push you back. So, but anyway, hope y'all enjoy the flight, and because I'm looking forward to it, folks. We're leaving Jacksonville here, taking a contingent of folks for Transcom Transportation Command back to Scott to do what magic they do behind those secretly closed doors of Transcom. All right, so we are, like I said, well into the checks here. We've already got our flight plan loaded up. We've already got most of our preliminary checks done. Quick for those to catch up, batteries on. Folks, if you don't know the batteries on or not, if you see power on the plane, you've got one source of power somewhere. Okay, just letting you know, it's either if you've got lights and screens and all on, minimal battery on, maybe even your APU or external power source. So anyway, let me just come up here. We've even aligned our IRS unit, and what I normally do is take it to heading when I'm getting ready to do that, because what it'll do is in here display how many minutes left to align. So all right, so we're getting ready here. Everything's set. You can see this is basically your preliminary. You're ready to go. Panel lights, nav lights, logo lights are on. Air conditioning set. Like I say, aircraft's ready to go. We can even turn the cargo heat on, and All right, so let's finish up the FMC, shall we? And before we tackle this animal, I'm going to stick it off to the side here, show the legs. Um, let's do a quick look in Sim Toolkit at what we have. Right now, I know it's cutting it off a little bit, folks, but the focus is really what's on here. So today, the METAR out of the Naval Air Station is now the winds are 105, 10 miles visibility, and 24 degree or scattered layer of clouds at 24, 100 feet, 25,000 for another scattered layer. 29 degrees here in Jacksonville. So pretty good day ahead, folks. Waiting for us at MidAmerica Scott Air Force Base. Pretty much calm wind at this time, 10-mile visibility. Yeah, it's clear. I looked out the window and 22 degrees Celsius. So beautiful day to fly. We got some storms in between here that I think will be above, and we'll tackle those as we go. Real quick, we don't have a departure, folks, but we have NavGraph ready to go, and I'll go ahead and throw our telemetry down there. And we're going in nowhere where there's D-ATIS, so not a problem. So here's our flight plan, folks. Very, very simple. It is, as you see on Sim Toolkit above KNIP, basically we're going to NAME to Lagrange, Juliet 73, which, by the way, it does not look like there's any fixes in between, to Nashville, and then direct Centralia. Well, we'll join the Centralia to arrival once we figure out what runway will be in use. Right now, hearing them fly over my house, 3-2s. So, all right, so there's your pre-brief. All right, so what do we have left to do? Not much. So let's head over to our perf init page and click on this align select there. Is that correct? Real quick, looking at SimBrief. Blink and what are we doing? Zero fuel to, yep, that'll work. Reserve. Let me do that real quick again. What I do, folks, and depending, the default one will actually tell you. Here, you just do a quick mathematical figure out 8.9 plus 5.6. Now, what am I figuring up here? Let me bring Sim Toolkit in. Okay. From SimBrief, folks, hang on, we're on this flight, so we'll view it. You can't find these numbers here. Now, in the default Lido format here, you would, but you still got to open up the preview. All right, so we'll come down here. Here's our fuel. I have not been told differently how I figure it up. So what I do is I take what I gotta have once I land. 45 minutes guaranteed all the time. That's FAA minimums. So I gotta have 5,676 pounds. Or I just drop the rest, 5 point, technically 7, and 8.9, because I really would like to make my alternate in case I need it. And that all comes up to, folks, on my $1 million Boeing made calculator. If you believe that, folks, bridges are for sale, taking you from Phoenix to Honolulu across the Pacific. Just let me know. I'll give you a dollar value. So 14.6, but that's how I figure it up. Now, you could throw in this 5% add-on reserve for safety, and it would be 15.6 then. So, all right. So there you have that, folks. All right, so we said 14.6, and we're going to cruise at 38,000. Cost index is 80 today. And our winds, I have that written down at 272 and 50 knots. Okay. And then just in case, more than likely we will not step climb between here and there, I throw in 2,000 feet. Take off. Now, this one can be done, but I challenge you. Well, I don't challenge you. If you use TopCat like I do, folks, you get V numbers. So we've got our basic information here. There's our zero fuel. There's our takeoff weight. We fill in the fuel, get that up to date. Go to the takeoff page, do an update. And what time are we? Are we 17:08? This was just 7 minutes ago. Just look at Sim Toolkit offline here real quick. Yeah, 193. 105. Okay, so we have a disparity here. Hang on. That's because it's over an hour old. Okay. All right, so we'll go with the 190 at 3 and 2997 for our altimeter. We'll get that in a minute, and we're looking good at, okay, we'll call it 30 now. All right, there we go. Make your takeoff. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go 28 since we do have basically any type of crosswind, no matter what we set up in 28's, just straight out takeoff. Okay, we got a dry runway. Our runway, we're not going to run with anti-ice, but we'll turn the air conditioners on. And here's the particular. All you got to do here, folks, is click compute once you get the parameters in. Poof. We got a couple of options. Now, I've got it set for flaps 5. I don't know how to get this system to accept flaps 1, but lately they've been coming up, nor do I know how to set up for takeoff 1 or 2. So I just do takeoff. But if you go to the next page here on your FMS, type in your winds, 190.3. Type in your slope just like you see it, up U or D, number, point, number, okay? And we're looking at up, plus is up, minus is down, so 0. So U, 0. And our reference is 30. And we'll keep our acceleration height at 1,000. Go back to that same page. Thrust, we are going to set a temperature of 71 if it'll let me. Sometimes it won't. No, it won't. Try 70. Okay, 70. So we're going to have about 1,600 feet of runway left if we run down. Now, we're going to run at 99% power. Now, if we could go to like TO2, we could draw that down into possibly the 80s. So you're pulling that power back. Still plenty to get in the air, folks, plenty to climb, but you're not running it all out max speed, which in this case, N1 could go as high as 109.0. So you're saving a little wear and tear. That's the whole thing here. You're, as Airbus says, you're flexing that power so you don't run it at, all out and wear parts and stuff out of those very expensive items sitting on the wings. Probably the most expensive parts of the plane, uh, physically in the plane. Now, the people, of course, are the most expensive. All right, so we're going flaps 5 and we turn to QR on. All right, let's see how close we came. We are nowhere in the ballpark. I got 124, 132, 142. With such a disparity, I am going to err on caution and bump it up. So they'll go 133 for V1. And let's go 137 for rotate. 142, and then we can turn them off. And there you go, folks. The FMC is all ready to go. Okay, loading this airplane. I didn't go into that because this is pretty straightforward stuff, folks. But basically what you would do is go to your plug-in real quick. To load it without a gate, you gotta have the stairs and the bus. It'll tell you what you need when you click load. You also need your LSUs. You need ACU, that's air conditioning unit, luggage units, chocks, and GPU for power. But those are a minimum, and your fuel truck. Then you stick in your number of people. I use the cargo weight to make my zero fuel match what the load of the plane is. And then I go from there. Then we simply just optimize the CG, perform maintenance, and load the plane. So it's real simple. Now that we're loaded, I just want to make one check here real quick. Okay, we're coming off the GPU. We're on the APU and we're on the bleed, so we're coming off that. And I am going to go ahead, close up the main door. Hang on. See how, and by the way, the door does not come out, folks. It goes back and up above the doorway. Okay, you can pull it here, especially when you're outside the plane, and then let's ditch the staircase. Okay, so basically the only thing left to put in place are the chocks, okay? So, or take the chocks out. All right, so finally, cabins all set, APUs running, doors and ground equipment packs will be turning off in a minute, and ACARS is going to be double checked here. Running for, and we're flying for Sim Air Force today. Yep, we're on the board. Okay, so let's get in to firing this plane up. And I forgot to remove Top Cat. Go figure. All right, so I want to first get rid of the chocks. And get back up in the cockpit so we can fire up. All right, real simple, folks. Again, we're not going to concern ourselves with better pushback because we don't need it. Now, I brought up the second one, and all I'm going to do is put that on legs. And I do want to check, we are set up for 2.8. Okay. All right. The only thing I have left to do is set the MCP up here. Our takeoff heading is 276. Takeoff, what I put on the, well, first off, let's turn the flight directors on before I forget. All right. We said 142, so I'll go V2 plus 10. Okay, and then we'll just go straight up since we don't have ATC. All right, and that concludes getting us all set, ready to go. Switch to engine. Want to do one thing else while we're up here. Make sure all your doors are closed on these warning lights. Beacons on. All right, here we go. All right, to start up. Sorry, folks. Hang on. I am going to get something out of the way so he doesn't get upset at us. I let it run very quietly in the background. If you don't, you'll keep hearing a ding.
You must fasten your seatbelt. Insert the metal fittings one into the other. Tighten it by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you
setting the altitude where we're going.
as we may experience turbulence. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest.
You can actually set the cabin lights, but you will not see them go up and down in there. At night you might, but daytime you won't.
Door level lighting will guide you towards the exit. Doors can be opened.
All right, packs off.
The handle in the direction of the arrow. Each door is equipped with an inflatable slide, which may also be detached and used.
And we're ready to start.
Oxygen and the air pressure are always being monitored. In the event of a decompression, an oxygen mask will automatically appear in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen,
we'll start number 2 first, and that is simply go to ground.
Secure the elastic band behind your head and breathe normally. Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing into the mask. If you are traveling with
once you reach the magenta line, introduce fuel.
First, and then assist the other person. Keep your mask on until the crew member advises you to remove it. In the event of an emergency, please assume the bracing position. Lean forward with your hands on top of your head and your elbows against your thighs. Ensure your feet are flat on the floor. Life vests are located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch. Remove the vest.
Okay, now you have the dials here. You have the digital readout here. Again, that magenta line we're going to get it up to before fuel is right where my cursor is, folks. Okay, let's get number 1 turning.
Slip your arms into the straps and hug the cushion to your chest. The following electronic devices: smartphones, CD players, laptop computers may be used when the seatbelt sign is off.
I'll blow it out so you can see there.
Mobile telephones, remote controlled toys, or any electronic devices operating with an antenna.
Here comes the fuel.
At all times. We remind you,
and you can see the light off. See how everything's beginning to spin up in 1 and 2. Most importantly, the exhaust gas temperatures are coming up, and that flicker you just saw over here, that's the engine automatically switching on the generators. So we are now on each of the generators.
please don't hesitate to ask one of our crew members. We wish you all an enjoyable flight. Thank you.
Okay. With the engines on, all we got to do now, folks, is Left and right hydraulic pumps on. We're not going to need anti-ice. Bleed valves on. Packs back on. APU bleed off. And we can turn the APU generator or APU itself off. Bear with me a second, folks. I just noticed something. All right, so we're set there. And we're set here. I think our altimeter changed too, folks, so bear with me a second. 2997. Okay, good. I caught that in time. Oh, the fuel pumps weren't on. Okay, and we'll turn the radar on. Set it up a little bit, and gain is to auto. We're not going to put it on any of our screens just yet, and where it'll go are our nav displays. All right, so let's head on out. Not bad. 5 minutes, a little bit on the early side is always a good thing. Hope you all enjoy this ride. If you are, folks, smash that follow button if you're new. Those of you that have been here a while, thank you so much. But again, if you haven't hit follow, love to have you on the next trip. It's also September, folks, with Twitch, meaning you get some pretty good discounts on the on subscribing to your favorite channels. Again, remember, when you subscribe, folks, you get it ad-free as a benefit Twitch gives you while supporting your favorite streamers. And we hope we're one of your favorites. And we'd love for you to show that love in the subscriptions, but it's not mandatory here, folks. But we would sure love to see it and help you along as well. You get 25% off for 1 and 3 month subscriptions, otherwise tier 1, tier 2. 6-month or tier 3 subscription would be 30% off. 25% off if you gift subs. And folks, we've had a bunch of generosity shown this month here amongst our folks that are subscribers. Gifting out subscriptions to a lot of people. Those of you that have received those gifts, I really hope you consider continuing. We'd love to, have that little extra income to try to look at getting some new aircraft in here, possibly even some new scenery. But again, thank you all so much for the generosity you have shown the stream. All right, we are coming up to the hold line here for runway 28. Actually, I think Oh yeah, we're at it. Okay, let's go ahead and get into our takeoff checks here real quick because I can already see we need some flaps. Reject takeoff. Throttles on. LNAV, VNAV. Stab trim needs to go to 0.9. Wow. That's what it says up there though, folks. Set it about 1.9, see what we have. Okay, flaps, ESS. All right, we do need to do a surface check. So what I do is just click the status button here, brings back that up. We can blow it up this way and just do. You see how that wheel turned, folks? I mean, it just snapped. We want it to be gentle when we're turning. We don't want that because, boy, that makes approaches hard. And by doing this, it gets it past that, at least on my setup. Okay, and if you're not seeing your rudder moving, turn off your yaw dampers. That's why I didn't turn them on. Quick freedom of movement. Okay, we are good on the controls. Go back to engine. APU is off, by the way, and your APU controls you can see are right on this line. Flaps, EFIS, range. Now we can turn on the radar, so we'll kind of move into a position to read them. Okay, so we got terrain and weather, so let's go with terrain here, weather here. See if we need to switch them, how things go as we take off. Let's just look real quick. Okay, nothing really showing up. All right. And finally, flight controls, parking, altimeters, left and right VORs are auto. Let's do it, folks. Naval Air Station, Jacksonville, North American 18, departing runway 28. And X-Plane 12 has really, folks, well, X-Plane in general has, to me, some of the best scenery I've ever seen for flight simming. I know we can argue this between simulators, and this ain't that for us. We're just here to fly, have fun. You all enjoy what you fly, and I do the same with the X-Plane side. But that is just outstanding to see. The old seaplane base that once was here, that's now for every other ship. That you all are going, what are you doing? All right, folks, we are cleared for takeoff and lining up now. Okay, we got our 60%. Couple of little click spots to show you here. We'll show you the one of importance right now, toga. It's this little set screw right here, toga. And we'll put little down on the yoke. Away we go. And rotate. That was pretty fair, folks. Positive rate, gear up. I had a feeling 9 would have been way off. Okay, and you know what? Let's just go right into the autopilot. Brakes off and okay, let's go into climb thrust. We'll do climb 2. Again, you can see it's pulling the power down a little bit, folks, so that we can save that wear and tear. Okay, flaps going up. And we're not seeing, I was kind of hoping to see some weather, but we really don't have it. But anyway, but we're on our way, folks. I want to say thank you all for being a part of Flying with Mike today. Definitely got some higher terrain here, and continue our climb out here. Flaps are up. Okay, and there we go, folks. We're passing 7,500 feet on our way up to 38,000 feet. Okay, and we just crossed 10,000 feet. That's why the lights came off. And we're pressing on. as we head out to Echo, November Echo, Mike Echo. Pretty cloudy day on this climb out, but the clouds still, as they have evolved through X-Plane 12.06, really looking good, folks. So is Flight Factor. We had some troubles with it yesterday. I was really nervous and thought we might have to do a plane swap to something else, but it seems to be percolating just fine today. So y'all enjoy the ride up to St. Louis as we cross 18,000. Now, the bad thing about some of these Boeings, they don't have a switch to just go standard. Some of them do, some of them don't. This is one of those that does not. Now, see if I can show it off. Right now, we are showing... Oh, I already did it. Well, let's do this. Let's say... Okay, you got an altitude disagree right now. I did that intentionally. We're showing 3010 over here, and it's 2992. Instead of having to split your screen or go to the middle like this, all you got to do, folks, is that other click spot is this little set screw right above the altimeter pilot side. Actually, never checked it on the other side. Hang on. Nope. Oh, it does. So if you're flying first officers, it's the set screw closest to the center of the panel. Okay. All you got to do is click it. And what'll happen is whatever that altimeter is set to, they'll agree. So we want to go to 2992 over there. Click it, altitude disagree goes, and they're set.
CC79 go down.
You still have to set that one. And we got somebody going around us. Maybe a bad attitude has entered the house. Welcome aboard, sir. Flight factor 767 day. We are doing great, sir. And yourself, I hope, is doing well. I can't remember. Did you say you're working nights now dispatching, or are you still oddball? Up. Just flight following today. Cool. So I got a feeling you have screwed up schedules. Well, they can't. Well, ours aren't actually screwed up in the firehouse. They just are to try for people to comprehend how we work. Ah, so the afternoon schedule. Okay. Cool. I was going to say, you're a little early today, sir, at work. Go-getter that you are. Hey, picking up a day is always great. A little extra money. And a little extra familiarity and getting used to the pilots and all that you all control. Okay, we are now. Now, if you haven't been following, folks, just so you know, you see us now in climb. When I got us above, say, 3,000 feet, you can do it earlier. I clicked 2 here. Well, that set us into climb 2. Now, as the aircraft climbs, the thrust will make it to the point that climb 1 would be a good setting, and it'll transition into climb 1 on your screen. Same thing until it gets to the EPR settings and N1 settings that would match climb. And that's how people in the back never know the aircraft is transitioning and never changes a lot. So you worked 6 days this week. Wow. Then I picked up 5 days the next 2 weeks. Nice. Nice. Oh, good to hear you're working, and it sounds like you're definitely enjoying it. But they definitely work you hard. That's good, though. You're a young whipper. You can handle it. That's what they said to me when I was doing stuff like that. Hated it. All right, well, we're just about top of climb here, folks. I'm going to do a little forward look here with Sim Toolkit. And we're just about where it says top of climb, it looks like. Looking ahead around LaGrange, we have some pop-up storms. Pull back a little bit more. We'll go through a little ATC up here in Memphis. Sometimes they don't bother us way up there, out in that corner. So we'll see. Again, just like I told you how I do it in Europe, how I do it is they're going to have to call me. I am not about to hunt and peck which channel to be on if they have multiples up. So you're going to have to ping me so I know which one to go to. I wish there was a way for them to better tell us what they're controlling when multiples come up. Even if it's I'm the high level, he's the mediate level, and transition to approach. That works for me too, because then I know which one to go to. Or I liked how London did it. London South, I think they have. Do they have a London Central, or is it just London North? But anyway, that I do like. So, but anyway, we're climbing out. We're 1,000 feet away, folks. There comes the green light, the altitude alert on the panel, and we'll go into cruise here. And for many of you that follow the stream and have been around when this bird has flown, this is probably my favorite version of the 767 and 757. This company. Believe they were based in New York. Don't quote me on that. Don't yell at me if I got it wrong. But I think it is just one heck of a great airline. I've been around them several times out at MidAmerica. Great bunches, flight crew and flight attendants. And folks, you cannot beat this paint job. You all might say, well, that's boring. Oh, but how many can boast the American flag up there? And I think, and I just may be remembering it wrong because it's 10, 15, maybe close to 20 years ago, they had one where the whole tail was the American flag. Such a cool aircraft to see when they came in, picking up the military to go east or west, and just neat. I wish they still flew today. I miss seeing those out at the airport. And I looked them up, and they said the site I found them on, and granted, we all know how authoritative Wiki is. I would have sworn I saw they had a 757-300, but they didn't show them in their historical or final fleet. I'd have sworn we had one on the ground because that was unbelievably long. But you all aren't seeing it because I was silly. Just love it, folks. Those of you in the firefighting world, let me treat you to something if you get 767s that I learned going into the flight deck of this plane. Now we all know there are two rows to a wide body. You know, you have two aisle rows that go down for the left and the right windows there. They're inside here. Let me better show it off. Okay. Sure everything's off. Okay. And we'll let them up. All right. Uh-oh. Do I have it outside? I think I do. All right. Well, worst case scenario, swing around this way and take a little walk through the cabin. Anyway, real quick. Okay, when I came into the cabin, folks, or the cockpit, it didn't look like this. I am having such a hard time with this today. All right, well, we're going through. I have to go see if I have it locked. All right, let's look. Can't remember. It's up top. I think they have it in this book. Can't I? Well, now that really... Yeah, it's not going to let me. Okay. Well, if it would let me. Anyway, you have two aisles, folks. So, when you're in this airplane, I know there's a way to unlock that door, but I'm done trying. You would have walked in over here and then out. Well, let me rephrase. It would look like you would walk out over here, and it was a lot more spacious than you see here. They're making it look like a 747. Watch it open for me. Oh well. Anyway, when I came in over in this side of the airplane, like you would coming up the aisle right into it. And like I said, it looked like you would go out this side into the other aisle, down that side of the aircraft. No. You went down a little bit, hit a bulkhead, and there were crew bunks right there. That's the long and short of this story. Be mindful, folks. Every aircraft is set up differently. FedEx has crew bunks in them too. They run multiple crews on some of those longer flights. So don't just give up when you, okay, we got two guys, we got them out, we're good. Search it, folks, like you would a house. Because like I said, that totally caught me off. I knew they had them somewhere in the plane. I wasn't expecting them right there in the cockpit. The captain, left seat guy, while they were actually in their brief, and I said, oh gosh, I see you're in your brief. I'll come back. He goes, I said, I'm with the fire department. I just wanted to get a quick familiarization. He goes, we'll stop because I want to show you what you guys need to know. And he took me out of his way to show me that. So I really loved this airline. Was really good to us at MidAmerica, in my opinion. So, and a couple of other times they were there. Their crew chiefs that are on the plane. I forget exactly what his title was. Showed us some things outside the aircraft we could use to help us, and they were just phenomenal. They were there. Why I can't unlock that door is beside me. But oh well. Of course I'll get on the ground and oh well. Let's go ahead and kick these on now. And like I said, folks, if you're doing your flight control checks and your rudders don't work, just turn them off. Make sure you turn them on eventually because they should be on when you're in flight. The Airbuses have a lock. The A330s were up there. 737s are down here. Huh, wonder what that would. That was maybe where the printer would be for ACARS. these are up here. Nope. All right. Well, in this case, it's a bust. But I am going to go ahead, go this way, and it still looks like they're using the 3-2s at Scott, because here comes another one over the house. We'll double check here in a moment. All right, but we just continue on, folks. We have just over an hour to go to get up to MidAmerica Airport, Scott Air Force Base, however you want to call it. And hope you all enjoy the Flight Factor flight. And looking here on your nav display, you can see we're about 70 miles from LaGrange. And then we'll turn for Banana, no, for Nashville. BNA. I heard someone call that once. Might have been me, but no. All right, folks, we're going to just kind of quiet things down, enjoy the music. Hey, it's hump day, folks. We're over the hump and headed into the weekend. Real quick, if you're new to the channel, love for you to hit that follow button, follow along, see us on our next flight, which will be Friday. It's kind of a up in the air start time on it and aircraft, so that's why a lot of stuff when you look down below and about and you see our flight schedule and it's like TBD and all of this and all of that, there's still a lot of what I want to fly on this. I'm not 100% sure yet, but that route is what we're gonna fly. So that's why you see it that way. But then we'll transition to next week and figure out what we're going to do for that. So, but if you click follow, you'll know when we go airborne, when we go live, you'll get an email. It is September with Twitch, so I would be remiss in not helping them out, which in a roundabout way helps out the stream here. If you like the content, you want to support us commercial free, love for you to hit that subscribe button, folks. Tier 1 or 1 month at a time, 25% off. 3 months at a time, or tier 2, 25% off. And if you go for tier 3, which is 6 months at a time, you get a 30% discount. And those of you that like gifting subs to friends so they can enjoy what it's like for ad-free, hey folks, that's 25% off too. Plus, they've got discounts into Loot Cave and all of that for the rest of you. But folks, it's a good month to take care of, to get that discount for the month of September, ending September 30th, obviously. But September is where you can say to your favorite streamers, hey, thank you. And with the gift you give in subscribing, at least here at Flying with Mike, I can say, that money goes to the stream to purchase aircraft, sceneries, and if I find something that would really help the stream out, then I start working towards that. But really, we don't mandate that here, like some streams do, but we kind of would like to mandate, but still don't, following, because folks, that's free. So, one other treat for you all, and this is anytime. It doesn't matter if it's September/September or not. Head over to our YouTube channel. Hang on a second. That, I think, still works without getting flagged. And if you miss a stream that's live, or you miss parts of it for whatever reason, they're over there. We always record them, put them up in their entirety right now. I may try to start editing them to try to bring down some of the super long ones in time over there, but for now, they are completely unedited. The only thing you may not see is the chat log. So, but you can enjoy the flight in its entirety. So check it out over there. And if you are, hey, and folks, if you are part of our team over there, smash that thumbs up and subscribe. We'd love to have that. We've got a really big following over there. Like to keep both of them growing, but just wanted to make sure we keep that in the back of your mind. And Discord, finally. And that one did get us. Okay, I knew one of them was going to catch us. Go figure. Hang on a second. I'm just going to get you that link real quick. Let's try this one. Sometimes I wonder why have timers when something like that's going to grab it. So there you go. There's the invite to our Discord. So love to have you over there after hours during the flights. I try to poke my head in occasionally, no guarantees when I can, but thank you all for being a part of Flying with Mike. Let's get some music going to take us into the weekend. All right, folks, we're back with you. Just crossed LaGrange, going through a little bit of those hit or miss storms we saw on Sim Toolkit as we push on up. Had to go around, close up the house, folks. Temperatures are getting a little warmer today than yesterday. But, you know, when the sun goes down, you can always reopen the house. So you had a few more hours of no power being used. So, how's your Tuesday, Wednesdays been since last we flew? Hope it's been well. I know for Bad Attitude he's been working, but and it was great DC-3 flight to see yesterday. May have to look into that. We haven't flown that in a long time here. Yep, where those storms were, and don't see them right now. Which, for our passengers, is always a good thing. All right, folks, we're about 50 or so minutes out. Oh, make it 40. My bad, misread that 0, thought it was a 9. All right, so let's do a quick arrival brief here. First thing I want to do, let's call up the weather for KBLV. Maybe. Did not take the K. All right, 120 and 4, yet the planes are still landing on the 3-2s. All right, check things. Sometimes the influencer for what our active runways on our runway is St. Louis. And so it is. All right, so we're getting close to Nashville, so let's get into this here. We're going to bring up charts. Smaller version of what you saw on Sim Toolkit. All right, and I've got it set up right now where we've got the weather showing up. Little pockets will fly over between Nashville and Centralia. But for now, looks like we're going to fly the Centralia 2 arrival to Dutmai, turn on Dutmai, 432 right. So there's your directions here from the VOR at Centralia, 267. Ovitz to Eagle at 7,000. To Dutmai, and then vectors onto the localizer. Sorry, my voice was getting crackly there. So let's go ahead, select up to right. All right, and as you can see, coming off Dutmai, it's going to take us down to Eknok, which is about a 20. Actually, I thought it was down to Gui, but anyway, we're going to come in, intercept the localizer, and fly in. Real quick for y'all, here's your ATIS and frequencies across the top. Localizer and final approach. Localizer being 111.15. Final approach 319. We can actually set that down below. Let me see if it'll show up here. Just a little off. There we go. Okay, so let's get that dialed in. 1.5 with a heading of 3. That way I don't forget. All right, and then back up. Next is our missed approach. Oh, I didn't finish. GUI. Right here is also an NDB at 2,043 feet, 1,600 feet above the ground. Our decision altitude in measure mean sea level, or that level above the sea level, 642 feet, is the same point in the sky as what our bracketed 200 is, and that's above the ground. You can see the difference of how high up the airport is. Okay, there's our routing. Oh wait, missed approach is next. If you haven't read it, I'll give you a couple seconds. Okay, and then moving on down, here is our route. We're going to be coming in straight into ECNOC and then joining the ILS. Of course, Memphis now wants to talk to us.
Yankee 2 on the right and Yankee to the right, UPS 2251.
Memphis Center, North American 18, flight level 380 with you.
North American 18, Memphis Center, good afternoon, squawk 6725.
6725, North American 18.
Eastern 5255, descend via the Vance 3 arrival, Memphis landing north, Memphis altimeter 3005. Descends via the Vance 3 arrival, Eastern 5255.
Was that center 6052 for North American?
North American 18 negative, squawk 6725.
6725 for North American, sorry. Get him to get us on board and then we'll continue on.
Nashville ground, Boeing 806 Sierra Bravo, audio issues have been sorted, ready to taxi with Tango.
Number 806 Sierra Bravo, Memphis Center, hello, runway 2 right, taxi via Tango 4 Lima Hotel.
Okay, since he's taking his time, we'll keep monitoring. Okay, so we'll be coming into EGNUC,
6 Sierra Bravo, radio check.
going into 3-2 right. Down here will be at 2,400 feet or above for EGNUC.
Read you loud and clear.
2,200.
Okay, 6 Sierra Bravo, runway 2 right, taxi via Tango 4 Lima Hotel.
And I think we're going to be right in this
2
area.
right, via Tango 4 Lima Hotel for 6 Sierra
I'll
Bravo.
turn you guys down here in a second.
North American 18, radar contact overhead Shelbyville, flight level 380.
All right, so there's our 2043 where the treasure mark is. We'll probably plan about a 2-minute run from there to the missed approach point. Thinking we're going to be close to 150. Okay, and let's do it this way. Oh, I'm sorry, looks like 130. Okay, well that's going to change my thinking. We'll be down here at about 2 minutes and say 20 to 15 seconds to the missed approachment. And we're going to be doing about a 700 foot a minute or so descent if we don't have glide slope. Finally, 642 is our mean sea level, 200 feet and a half mile are our minimums. As long as the RVR is greater than 18, since we have a flight director, we're good to come in. Otherwise, we have to look for another airport. We don't have category 2. Alls are Pappies, and here's our missed approach. All right, that's the chart portion of the brief. Here's the top cat. Yep, it can take care of your landing numbers too. Fading. Okay, and you can see we're 120 at 4, 26, 1019. Going to be coming in on an auto land only for formulation, auto braking 3. We're probably going to break off of that as soon as I see the room. Okay. 32 right. Here's your particulars. But what we're interested in is right here. Approach 34, landing 29. So that's cool. Be just under 7,000 feet away. All right, folks. So there we have it. That's our approach brief. We're about to cross over Nashville, and then next up, the only thing left to do, program it in. NL, to right, execute, check our legs. All right, we are set to go. All right, and that's how we get her set up, folks. Hopefully, we'll be off center here soon because they don't control anywhere near us in Memphis. It's all by Kansas City. It's Kansas City for center, St. Louis approach for approach departure.
Memphis Center today, American 310, North Airbus 320 at Little Rock, with information. Tell me what the regard includes for order please. American 310, Memphis Center, hello, clear to the Fort Lauderdale Airport. Radar vectors Mickey, Van S filed, maintain 4,000, expect flight level 350, 10 minutes after departure. Departure this frequency, squawk 1354.
Okay, and as you can tell, we're making the turn. Alright, let's do some quick, get ourselves ready. Seatbelts can remain off for now. We've got the flight plan, ref page set up, and flaps. Auto brakes will set at top of descent, and EFIS will be set to which it is, to 200 feet per the charts. Frequency and heading are in.
Memphis Center, American 310 radio check. Loud and clear. I'm guessing you can't hear me.
Super Drive Memphis Center, we can hear you, just letting you know.
Thank you.
I'd love to know what that guy is flying. I can't hear center. Okay, one tip, folks, with the flight factor, always and with any aircraft. We haven't touched anything.
Boeing 60 Bravo on departure, fly heading 280, the wind 010 at 10, runway 2 right, cleared for takeoff.
Make sure this is lit up. Make sure you click this, turn it up. Otherwise you won't hear them. And they won't hear you. Another way to check. Hang on a second.
Flight heading 280, clear for takeoff 2 right, 60 Bravo.
Alright, also, we got a mic keyed up, just so you know. On your X-Pilot, see where the green RX is up here in the top left corner? Now it's blue. Make sure those are dark, not light like the ones for 125. If those are not lit up, you will not be able to do either transmit, which is TX, RX is receive. And then again, easiest way, once you see those aren't lit, just come down here and check your mic select. And
Center, American 310,
see here, I'll give you an idea.
American 310, loud and clear, have me.
Now,
Loud and clear as well, thank you. Roger, let me know if you're ready to copy your clearance. We are. American 310, cleared to Fort Lauderdale Airport, radar vector is Mickey, then as filed. Maintain 4,000, expect flight level 35010 minutes after departure. Departure this frequency, squawk 1354.
what's this one?
Clear to Fort Lauderdale Airport via Mickey and vectors. Climb initially 4,000 feet, expect
It's not
350
doing it here.
departure. Squawk is 1354, American 310. American 310, read back correct. Information Delta is now current. Make sure you grab it. The runway's changed a little bit. And call me when you're
I
ready
was
to
hitting the
taxi.
wrong
Expect
one,
4 left.
folks.
Copy that, thank you.
The center one's, oh, right here, this one. The right one, if you turn that one on,
Southwest 3086, departing
Here.
airspace, Fort Worth, soft line, radar services terminated, frequency
you get
change
the
approved.
receive, but you don't get the,
Frequency change is going to go through, thank you. Have a good day in Southwest 3085. Boeing 6 Sierra Bravo, say altitude.
anyway. So you get a little idea how this all works up here.
6 Sierra Bravo is climbing to 4,000 at crossing 2500.
Boeing 6 Sierra Bravo, roger, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 300, proceed direct Big Daddy.
There we go.
Climb to 300 direct Big Daddy. 6 Sierra Bravo.
Top of descent is short.
Eastern 5255, expect the visual for runway 36 right.
Expect the visual for 36 right, Eastern 5255.
And we'll be coming out of his airspace here in a minute. Get that top of descent under 40-mile arc here, and then we'll set 5, what was it, 7,000? I am going to go ahead and lighten up the load on my ears. Pause the music here, and we're going 7,000 at Icon. Right, and I got everything turned so I can hear, right? Yes. But that's critical, folks, with the flight factor. Really, with any airplane, always make sure your TX and RX are dark blues, not the real faint light blues. So, there's a little more with flight factor I can show you, but with the A320, we had a little discussion with a controller one day. I just taxied, didn't care. It just got ridiculous. We're arguing over something when he could still see me. So, but it took 2 or 3 more flights to figure it out. Alright, so we should be just about to the top end. Actually, we're going to have to request, I think. Okay.
Southwest 2359, departing airspace, Fort Worth's closed, radar services terminated, frequency change approved.
7,000. Now, folks, don't start your descents without clearance. Clearance has to tell you what you can do in a clearance before you do it. And like I said on the ground in Manchester yesterday, folks, applies here.
North American 18 at pilot's discretion, maintain flight level 270.
Pilot's discretion down to flight level 270, North American 18 heavy. Of course not, stair step. Alright, now, to make this one descend, do it the easy way, folks. Go to descent, click descend now. Anyway, what I was saying in Manchester yesterday always applies anywhere. If you don't understand where they want you to go, where they want you to hold up at on taxis, ask. So you don't do like I did several weeks ago and just blow through the whole point you wanted to get. Yet not holding in the air on the ground, but still ask if you don't know.
Memphis 7 UPS 2264 Heavy, request for IFR clearance back to Louisville as well. UPS 2264, expect PDC. UPS 2264.
Alright, so we're setting up for medium brakes. Sorry, 3 on the brakes. Set up here. We'll go do the... Why do I try to keep this with my heading? Folks, I hear it a lot on VATSIM, and it's happened to me a lot while on VATSIM. And it doesn't matter if you're on VATSIM, POSCON, IVO, Pilot's Edge, it's going to happen to you. If you go in right now, set your flight plan up in the default flight FMSs for sure. Sometimes the payware. Hit execute or whatever the system requires you to hit. The airplane's going to spin back to your last fix.
American 1826, departing my airspace to the east. That line is closed. Radar services terminated. Frequency change approved.
All I'd have to do is click that. It's going to swing us back. Now we'll be off course slightly, and then I can regroup, figure out what needs to happen. Otherwise, you're going back to the fix behind you. So be mindful of that. That's one of those things you just keep your... Sometimes things happen with the FMC, who knows, and you got to reprogram or whatever. Boom, you stay on the course you need to be. Or in this case, heading. You get the point. And we're coming down. All right, folks, so we have started our descent at 27,000, unless we're handed off early. We're going to turn the passenger seat.
Eastern 5255, descend to maintain 3000, fly heading 290 vectors for final approach.
Descend maintain 3000 and vectors for final. Eastern 5255. And what was the heading?
Heading 290.
290, Eastern 5255.
Oh, there he is. Okay, try to see. But again, thanks for being a part of Flying with Mike. Hope you've enjoyed. We're going to be coming into Mid-America here shortly. We're in our descent, taking it down easy. Hopefully at the top of descent mark, it might steepen up a little. If not, I'll start thinking about it. All right. All right, so we're continuing on. I was kind of hoping we'd steepen a little bit.
North American 18, Department of Airspace to the north, Kansas City's closed, radar services terminated, frequency change approved.
Roger, over to Unicom, North American 18 Heavy. Thanks for the ATC. Bye now.
Yeah.
See.
Boeing 6 Sierra Bravo, descend via the Blues 3 around.
All right, there we go, folks. We're back in controlled. See where that puts us on the map here. 6 miles. Okay, I'm going to go steepen us up to 7,000. All right, we're through, we'll call it 32 minus 7. 25 times 3 is 75. We're going to go ahead and steepen our descent. All right. See you 1,500 feet from here. All right, there we go. Steepening up to about 2,000 feet a minute. We'll see how that works out. But again, folks, thanks for being a part. It's been a few flights since the 767 has flown here. So this ought to be fun. Boy, it really is clear out here. We'll see. Oh, excuse me, folks. All right, I am going to switch this over to indicated. Come down at 300 knots. Kind of keep an eye on that. Okay, there's 27. I said we were going to seat belts on. Cabin up, charts dome's good. Wing lights on. And we're looking at about 13 or so minutes till we get in there. So technically we would do our in-range call. Might have done it just before top of descent, but definitely at this point we could call in. We're 15 minutes out. All right, folks. So glad you were part of the flight today. We'll see what we can do once we get on the ground here. All right, looking right now at our nav display, ICL is 7,000, so I'm gonna pull back to about 1,800 feet a minute. Push that out just a little. There's ICL, there's Dutmai, there's Eknok, and then we turn in. So that ought to help us just getting us closer, or maybe back. I think we're good there. All right, so that's how you can use this. Now, Airbus, you can do the same thing in it. Sometimes can get a little dicey where that arrow shows up, especially in default. Don't rely on any of your normal Airbus things yet for the defaults. Give them a few. That mod that we flew yesterday was phenomenal. So this is the Flight Factor 767. I have the, you know what? I would go there and not have it off top of my. There we go. Professional extended version. So I have the in between. So I get both the 767 300 ER, but then with the extended version, you get the cargo version as well as the 200. And I really love flying both of those. So today we just took the 300 because, it made sense. But anyway, let's keep going here. I'm going to actually think about taking it down a notch. Get that, it's showing up what looks like weather ahead of us, folks. So. Yeah, that's technically, though, that was actually a good. That's how it really should look, folks, with not so much the reds, but for colors to help you know severity. There was a big study after a crash out there, folks, trying to figure out how can we make it easier for pilots to depict severity in storms when they're trying to go. So 3010. All right, you're going to see the disagree here in a second. There it is. Altitude disagree. If you weren't here in the middle part of the stream, let me show you how this is easily remedied. Okay, now you know this one's set to 3010. Well, this is still set to 2992. This set screw here, folks, will set it to 299, or I'm sorry, 3010. Unfortunately, you still got to set this one, which is your backup. So now they're all set, and you see altitude disagree go away. So, all right, so we're getting close. All right, so the flight attendants are getting things set up back there. We're getting set here for our arrival, and this ought to be a good landing. If you're into it, folks. Just do a prediction, exclamation mark the word predict, and space and a negative number, and you'll see how close we get, what actually happens. All right, and where we are in the state of Illinois, folks, is a bit hilly, hence why you see the terrain radar showing returns. Got a couple of lakes we're going by, one over here. May have to go as far as to show it this way. We've got Rend Lake there. Oh, what just happened? I just blow all out again. Really? Looks like I did. Oh, bear with me, folks. Oh, great. Not even geek right. That's why. Somehow. Okay, cool. All right, we need to slow down. There's Carlisle, one of the bigger lakes here. Circum. Okay, and we're speed as we're slowing her up to make that turn. Oh, it's trying to screw up again. There we go. Now things are back. Sorry for all the flipping around there, folks. Oh, I don't know what I did, but I did something that was not recommended. All right, we are slowed on and we are lining up. Okay, so we're at 7,000. Okay, headed to Eggnog. We're at 7,000, so we got that part beat. 3010, we're good on the altimeter. And it is time to start thinking about landing the bird. Okay, there's Eichel, 7,000 feet. We'll start our descent to 2,400 feet. By Eknok. All right, Eichel, 2,400. Okay, we're going to need a little bit of spoil. I wonder, can we see the airport? Cannot. Probably in the real world we would be able to see it. So I know at this point I more than likely would see the airplane coming into the airport when I work. Just doesn't seem to work out that way. Okay, let's go ahead, get the localizer on. Okay, I'm taking over because it's wanting to turn the. I'm just going to go ahead, take over speeds. That really took us off course, folks.
Bank angle.
Okay. Wow. Did that really go wrong? Okay, got the run now in sight.
St. Louis traffic, Southwest 317 is on 12 I and final for a 30 right, St. Louis.
St. Louis MidAmerica Airport, North American 18, final for runway 32 right. Okay, flaps full. Speed brakes are armed, hopefully. Should just have to tap them. Okay. Okay, runway in sight, landing.
Glide slow. Glide slow.
Visually, we're getting high. Okay.
Seal Louis Lambert traffic, Southwest 317's on a 5-mile final 30 right, St. Louis.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
All right, welcome in, folks. Not a real pretty approach, but you know, it worked. Just get the auto brakes turned off, turn off radar that we don't need. All right, and we're in. We'll take a look at the numbers here in a minute. Again, not a pretty approach. Got it in there, though.
St. Louis traffic, Southwest 317's clear 30 right, St. Louis.
All right, let's do our after landing checks. Okay, it's on me. All right, so lights off with the landing lights, strobes to hit that one, flaps. Never had it. I know why it did it, because I was still on VNAV or LNAV, so it wouldn't connect. It usually does. Why it decided not to this time, who knows? All right, and AP. think so. Tricked me. All right, so taxi up here to the gates. We got the lights for taxi on. Go ahead and kill the wing. So again, hope you all enjoyed the ride. It was a fun flight here to MidAmerica. Interesting arrival, being that somehow the airplane did not, well, picked up the localizer, but it wanted to do like the hold. And that's normally not how this plane does it. So I have to go in and look at when it sets it up, did it put it into hold or not? We'll head over towards gate 5, which will be, I know you're going, there is not 5 gates here. Well, that's because this scenery has not been updated in many years. Anyone from X-Plane listening, that building is long gone. This is extended down. Take a look at the latest Google, you'll see. But that's okay. We can work around it. And actually, there's plans for actually 6 gates here. All right, welcome to St. Louis MidAmerica Airport. Oh, sorry about that, folks. Frog caught in the mouth. All right, looking aboard. Looks like Jacksonville decided to come online. Kind of figured they would eventually. All right, so quick rundown for the shutdown. Came off auto throttles off left and right directors. We have not turned off yet. APU started. Okay, taxiing. We got the APU running correct. 1%. Let's go to the gen. And the bleed. Oops. There we go. And shutting the engines down. Yes, I brought the volume up. All right, runway lights, flaps, transponder to standby. All right, and that's parking. We've got the engines, pumps, and that. All right, so we are in, folks. Fun flight. Interesting approach, to say the least. Let's get credit where credit's needed at Sim Air Force. All right, and okay, I just now caught wind of what we did. Let's see. Bringing up Sim Toolkit right now, folks. Okay, it's not showing. I just need to finish the flight. 54 feet a minute. For a cruddy approach like that, to salvage it is nice. All right, there's our approach. You can see where the cruddiness began. Yeah, I'm not really sure why it did what it did, but it did. It's nonetheless. Let's get in here deeper. Almost 2 hours in the air. 1G, 147. A little fast, but that's okay. And let's see. Floated a little bit, but we stayed within the landing zone. That ends right up here at Kilo 5. Alright, but this is where people aim for, right here. That's your visual mark. Here's the end of the runway, 500 foot, each of these hash marks you see. 3,000 foot's the end of the landing zone here. If you've noticed, again, I said this is where we aim visually. Here's your ILS glide slope. Your PAPIs should be like right in here somewhere. So, and it's all geared to try to get you right here. Now, they may not line up in your airplane, but that's where they're aiming you for. So when you do burst out, poof. Okay, we'll try. If we can't, we, got 10,000 feet of runway. Get past the 3,000 foot mark, you might want to think about it. Okay, took 1,900 feet down the runway, 1 foot off the center line. Hey, folks, those are 2 good numbers. Ideal was 318.5. We did 320, which, I have a feeling it's like crosswind in play because I remember working the rudder. So overall, this looks number-wise a really good landing. All right. Let me come off of that. Well, wait a minute, Dylan. Oh, that's Memphis Center. Okay. One last look around the area, make sure nobody was following us. Does not appear so. All right. So I'm disconnecting. Go ahead and close. Okay, closing that as well. Anything else? Oh, we'll go ahead and we're trying to get rid of as much as we can. We're going to try something, see if we can go further. Since it kind of showed us how we did, but then we ran into troubles. Looking here, we can get rid of the checklist now. Okay, and let's see if we can get us to play. I think that's our airport right there. Yep, I'm going to assume it to be. All right, let's see how this did. Here we go, folks. Hey, there we go past the visual mark. Oh yeah, that is grease. Wow. Great landing. We'll give it the 54. And the Hawker 125 look. And I'll give you all a screenshot chance. Let's see what this looked like inside. I can't do a tower view here. GamerTube HD, the 767 is great in X-Plane. To answer your question there, I'll tell you about one thing to worry about here in a moment, which isn't a worry at all. We switch over to the other side. When you first load it up, it's going to say it's something like this isn't the version of the sim or something like that for it. Disregard. It's just letting you know that the version of the sim doesn't match what they set it up for in Flight Sim or in X-Plane. Hang on a second. I'm not using any engine mods. What I am using are the CF engines, but I didn't know there was a mod. And I try not to mod these because they go haywire on me all the time. But no, this is not that mod, just the CFs that come with it. And I'd show you from the tower. We'll do it right now. Oh, you can get a better tower view. Hang on. Used to not be able to see it. Of course, we're going to get a pole in the way and some trees. But, you know, that's how it is at the real airport. Alright, so there you have it, folks. The Flight Factor 767 landing here for North American, an airline that went out of business like many charters in 2008. Let me switch up here. It's a shame because I really loved this airline when they came into our airport here in MidAmerica. But, you know, it is what it is. So. But again, folks, thank you so much for being a part of Flying with Mike. I am going to go ahead and come offline. But I hope you all enjoy. And if you're new, hit that follow button. We'd love to have you on future flights. We're flying out of Cairns, Australia Friday over to Darwin, I think it is, on the schedule. It's about a 500-mile flight. Hey, GamerTube HD, thanks for the follow. We sure appreciate that. Welcome aboard. So I look forward to see you all as we haven't decided the aircraft which decides the sim that we're gonna fly. So we'll kind of see how it goes. But again, GamerTube, thanks for the follow. And folks, we thank each and every one of you for coming out. Don't forget, don't miss out on the Twitch September. 25% off Tier 1, Tier 2, 30% off Tier 3. When you sub your favorite streams, and we hope you like our stream enough to call it one of your favorites, and you sub us, not a requirement, you get ad-free viewing and some other perks depending on the stream. 25% Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, 30%, And folks, the streamers do appreciate it. So we are going to put this back in the stall there where we were, and get the jetway coming out. And folks, we're going to call it a day. Gamer Tube HD, thanks again. 747 200 maybe? Awesome. Actually, no, it's either going to be the A320. I'll give you this right now. A320 from Flight Factor, or this aircraft again. I think it might be the 200 though. I'll have to double check. But anyway, it'll be the Flight Factor 767 or the 727. So tune in Friday. We're hoping to get it going by 1 o'clock Central U.S. time. If I can get it going earlier, I would love to on a Friday. I come off shift, I don't know. So we're going to call it quits for the night, folks. And I hope you all have a great hump day. It's Wednesday, folks, halfway through the week. Y'all have a great day. God bless. We'll see you Friday.